Today I wanted to teach Aries to load in a trailer. Little did I know that we would be doing much more than that. I started out by lunging him in front of the doors. I wanted him to just approach the trailer without feeling he had to go in it. I had already put Picasso in the trailer so that Aries would have some company in there. After a few circles, I pointed his lead line into the trailer and asked that he look inside. Each time he makes an effort, I release. After he looked into the trailer, I sent him out and asked him to step into the trailer. This next sequence is uncut. I wanted you all to appreciate how easily he got in. I was floored. I guess proper preparation really does pay off. As with Dakota, I don't want Aries to turn and leap out, so I ask him to stand for a few seconds before he gets out. Repeat, repeat, repeat. A horse doesn't really learn something unless they've done it several times. Most of the time, I hear from other trainers that you have to do a new behavior at least 3 times. Horses learn by trial and error. It's possible the first time they get a new behavior right, it was a guess on their part. You have to keep repeating the new behavior so the horse understands which guess he made was right. Since it only took 15 minutes total to teach Aries to trailer load, I had to come up with something else to do. Since he was on a roll, I thought, why not try cinching up a bareback pad? So we went up to the arena and did some warm-up lunging. I have been putting a saddle pad on Aries for a week or more, so he didn't care much about the pad. The cinch hanging down did cause him to think twice, though. I rubbed the cinch across Aries' stomach a few times before cinching it up. It's been my experience that the first time a horse gets cinched, they resist. It feels weird. I don't blame them. They are getting hugged by something and can't get away. But not Aries. He didn't really react. I wanted to see if stepping over some poles would make a difference to him. Nope. As with trailer loading, I repeated everything again. Took the pad off, put it back on, cinched it up, and off we went again. It is really important that I keep Aries light. It is quite easy to let him get heavy, and then rather difficult to get him light again. Aries is also a speedy learner. It really does only take him a couple of repetitions to learn something new. This goes for things I want him to learn, as well as things I'd rather he not learn. Recently, he has sneered at a few people when they tried to pet him, ears back and tosses his head at them. I have to be careful with this, because if the person trying to pet him backs off, he was just rewarded for making a threat. I started today with an empty trailer, but Aries was quite nervous. Rather than let him keep scaring himself, I put Picasso back in the trailer for companionship. I will take him out later. Aries was much more at ease with Picasso in the trailer. Baby steps are important, though time-consuming. If you spend the extra time in the beginning to teach a horse something new, it will save you time in the end, and they will have a more solid understanding of what is expected of them. Now I have taken Picasso out. Aries, like my first Mustang, Rowdy, seems to do best when I backtrack a little bit on what we learned the day before. Yes, he went into an empty trailer yesterday, but this is today, and having that small reminder of, yep, I'm still okay, seems to help him. He will outgrow his need for a security blanket, but for the moment, it helps him. I took Aries into the round pen to teach him to canter on cue. I am using the round pen because the arena is too big. I don't want to teach him to pull on the lunge line while I ask him to canter. I started off at liberty, something I haven't done with Aries much since he started wearing a halter. He was amazing, just like if I'd had him on a lunge line. The itchy part about getting Aries to canter is that I have to bring his energy way up. Of all the gaits, the trot is the most efficient. Wild horses, being efficient creatures, tend to be great trotters, and Aries has a huge trot. It was quite difficult to get him to canter. I ask him for just a few strides, and then I release. After bringing his energy and anxiety up so much, I chose to go back to our lunging on a line and reinforce his lightness and walk and trot cues. If you are going to bring a horse's energy way up, you just can't leave them there. You have to do something to bring them down and calm them down. As owners and trainers, we have a responsibility to our animals. Like children, we are in charge of not only their physical health, but their mental health. Aries was quite responsive and a bit anxious when I started, but he settled quickly and responded lightly to my requests. A super important and vastly under-taught exercise that I love is a head-down cue. When a horse lowers their head, their blood pressure also lowers. By getting a horse to drop their head below the level of their back, you are calming them down. While learning this, one trainer told me to also have the horse turn to the side. This is an additional blood pressure reducer, and they will lower their head more readily from this position. Rowdy, my first Mustang, actually got to the point to where he would drop his head and turn towards my knee while riding, as a self-soothing gesture. The more time Aries spends with his head lowered, the calmer and more relaxed he will be.